What is going on, you guys? So today I'm bringing you guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I will be showing you guys the sports cards that I am buying right now. One particular player that I think is a very good investment right now. But before we get into that, I do want to say, as you guys know, I have my Sports Card Invest membership group. And recently, we just hit 1,400 members, which I want to thank you guys so much for. We've obviously been doing very well, and 92% of monthly members have either renewed the monthly or upgraded to the yearly membership. And on top of that, 62% returns on our money every single month on average for the last 6 months. So just absolutely been a very big ride. Obviously a lot of money made for a lot of people, which is definitely very great. And we've been able to really be ahead of trends. So as you guys know, 2012 Prism recently, started to become very iconic, and we were able to predict that before the market predicted it. So definitely, we were able to predict and made a lot of money on 2012 Prism. We predicted it would become iconic with Prism rising so crazy. And then also we were able to predict that NBA centers would, prices would go up a lot, because at one point, point guards were super expensive, but centers were like $60. You could get a Nikola Jokic PSA 10 for $60 when guys like Donovan Mitchell were, 150, 200. So we were able to predict that the market would start to be open to NBA centers, because at one point, everyone was just kind of like, oh, centers, they're not fun to watch. I don't think they should be worth much. And we were able to predict that the market would change their mind about that. And sure enough, they did. And all these Jokic's that I told all my members to buy for $60 are now, in the hundreds of dollars. So definitely, we've been able to pick up on a lot of trends. And we do have quite a few more trends that we are predicting will be going through in these next few months. So if you guys would be interested in joining the group, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com. Use code YouTube for 10% off. And you guys can message me with any questions on my Instagram at sportscardinvest or my email, sportscardsinvest@gmail.com. But yeah, definitely so much money to be made. Use code YouTube for 10% off. It is only $6.99 for the month or $40 for the year. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So basically, my number one buy at the moment is LeBron James, and I'm going to tell you guys why. So obviously, the playoffs are in full swing right now. I definitely believe that Giannis could pull it off. Kawhi could pull it off very well. But the reason I am going with LeBron and not actually the player who I believe will win, which is I personally believe the Clippers will win. But, I'm buying LeBron just because if I'm betting on the playoffs, I want to bet with someone who's going to have more long-term value. Kawhi Leonard's a great player. I think he can win it this year. But the thing is, if he does not win, I do not see this card being a $5,000 card anymore. Because, Kawhi, his overall career has been nowhere close to LeBron's, right? LeBron's in the GOAT conversation. LeBron is more so a play for me that I believe, LeBron's going to be in the GOAT conversation. He's obviously going to continue to rise in value over time. But if he wins this, playoffs, it's more so just an added bonus. I think either way, LeBron's a stellar investment, and it's really hard to lose on LeBron. If he loses these finals, he's still a top 2, top 3 player of all time, right? So his cards are still going to maintain the value. Yet if Kawhi Leonard, if he loses his finals, I think this could go down 30-40% because everyone's buying Kawhi Leonard right now just for the fact of selling him when he wins the finals. And if he does not, there's going to be a big market crash, I feel. Unless, people are optimistic for next season, but that's a long wait, right? So LeBron's just a very safe investment with a lot of upside, because I definitely think, LeBron, if he wins the finals this year, I think his Topps card's going to 10, 12K for a PSA 10. And if Kawhi wins the finals this year, I think his Prism's going to 10K as a PSA 10. Yet the thing is that if LeBron does not win, I still think they will keep the same value, because LeBron long-term is going to be very relevant. I think he will still be an incredibly good investment for long-term and both for just next season, right? So I definitely think, LeBron has as much upside as, Kawhi Leonard, but I think if he loses, there's not too much downside because everyone's still going to want LeBron There's never going to be a day where people don't want LeBron cards. His cards, the demand's always going to be super hot. But Kawhi Leonard, he's more so, obviously, he had a crazy big year in 2014, but then he was injured for some years. Then he came back and won another Finals MVP. So he's kind of had in total in his career around 4 to 5, maybe if we give it to him, 5 good years max. And LeBron's just, he's proven himself as one of the GOATs. And I just think, I think, LeBron rookies are obviously a very good investment, but, 2019 Prism is something I've been asked about a lot, and I personally believe, if LeBron does not win this year, the significance on 2019-20 Prism LeBron will go down quite a lot. So I do see that risk in his this year Prism cards. I feel like if you're investing, just for LeBron to win this season and do a quick flip, 2019 Prism is a decent bet. But you have to, understand that that's kind of a gamble, because if he does not win, I don't think 2019 Prism will be going for as much down the line. Just because if you look back, like every year, the Prism cards go down in value from that year, in a sense. But, rookie cards are always going to, that's the tradition in the sports card hobby. So definitely, LeBron is a super solid investment right now. I just think he has so much upside and, not much downside. So that's exactly what you're looking for if you're an investor. And I know a lot of people do not have the money to afford a 2003 Topps. There's many other ways to go. 2003 Upper Deck Rookie Exclusives is one of my personal favorites. I just always believe that was super undervalued. But yeah, that's definitely, you can get a few of these raw for maybe like $70-ish. So definitely that card's a very good LeBron rookie. There's his Ultra, his Fleer. He has a handful of rookies. I think all of them are stellar investments. Because one day, it's going to be very hard to find a LeBron rookie for under $1,000 in my opinion. Just because LeBron is, if MJ, all of his rookies, he only had a few, right? But his rookies are so sought after, and it's been 20 years. So I think LeBron will be the same, honestly. I think LeBron he's going to stay relevant for his lifetime, I believe. He's always going to be in the news. He's going to, obviously one of the best basketball players of all time. And just, this year he has a chance to double his value by winning the championship in 1 year. And even if he does not, I think that's doing a steady 20% a year over time, right? So just definitely a very solid investment in my eyes. Some other players that I believe are a little bit more gambles, but could also really pay off. Jimmy Butler, I think, obviously with, they're playing the Bucks next season, yes, or next series, yes, that is a little bit of a risk, but at the same time, I think they can. Honestly, I personally believe the Heat can pull it off, but even if they don't, he's going to have some big games. He's going to have to step it up next series. And his 2012 Prism, iconic set. And I really think Jimmy Butler has a lot of room to go up because he's a proven superstar. A superstar's rookie in 2012 Prism. We've seen what happened to those. We've seen what happened to Kyrie's cards, Kawhi, Anthony Davis. So definitely, if Jimmy Butler, I'm on the lookout for him for sure right now. Little bit of a gamble, obviously, but I think it could really pay off. There's obviously a lot of other guys. Donovan Mitchell, I believe, is going to have another stellar series next series. He might not win, but, the way he's playing right now is just, he deserves a lot more credit, in my opinion. You can get a lot of his great optic cards very cheap. His optic holos very cheap. So I just think, Donovan Mitchell, very underappreciated. You can see guys like, if Luka Doncic drops 57, it's talked about a lot more than when Donovan Mitchell drops 57. So, just something to keep in mind. I think for the long term, Mitchell is going to be fantastic. And obviously, he's just starting. He's 23 years old, shining in the playoffs, which is very rare to see. So definitely, I think Mitchell is very undervalued, especially his optic holos. I think that's, just double the price of a base PSA 10 or even less than double. Wow, so you can get it literally for 1.2 times the price of a PSA 10 base Prism. That's an absolute steal in my opinion. So just so many cards out there that I think are, a little bit more gambles, but with Donovan Mitchell, I don't see him as much of a gamble, because even if he loses this season in the playoffs, I think over the offseason he's going to go back up. Next season he's going to go back up. So just very good investments to be seen, but I think LeBron's the safest and has so much upside. I just don't see a reason not to throw money at him. If you have the money, I really think it's a very valuable, investment that could really pay off, and at least over time, you're investing in literally one of the GOATs. So definitely, I really think these are some great investments. Mitchell, LeBron are my probably top two, I would say right now. But yeah, really hope you guys did enjoy this video. Once again, if you guys would like to join the membership program, click the link down below, sportscardsinvest.com. Use code YouTube to get you 10% off. Other than that, I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'm out. Peace.